reading from the book of the Ecclesiastes. There is an appointed time for everything, and a time for everything under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to uproot the plant. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to tear down, and a time to build. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them. A time to embrace, and a time to be far from embraces. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to be silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. What advantage has the worker from his toil? I have considered the task that God has appointed for the sons of man to be busy about. He has made everything appropriate to each time, and has put the timeless into their hearts, without man's ever discovering, from beginning to end, the work which God has done. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock, my mercy and my fortress, my stronghold, my deliverer, my shield in whom I trust.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock.
Lord, what is man that you notice him, the Son of Man that you take thought of him? Man is like a breath, his days like a passing shadow.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Once when Jesus was praying in solitude and the disciples were with him, he asked them, "Who do the crowds say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist," others, "Elijah," still others, "One of the ancient prophets has arisen." Then he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter said in reply, "The Christ of God." He rebuked them and directed them not to tell this to anyone. He said, "The Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised." The Gospel of the Lord. I've made mention of the fact yesterday that it seems to me the author of the book of Ecclesiastes is a man who's more than likely old, tired, and very frustrated with failures in his life. We get the same spirit again here. There's a time for everything. Why bother worrying? You know, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I've tried to do whatever it is in the wrong season of time, and it just doesn't work. Okay, I'm trying to gather stones, it's time to scatter. I'm trying to sow, it's a time to rend. Just one thing after another. And so there's always an appointed time that's just the way it is. Our gospel tells us the same kind of thing in a different way. This is very, very fated, our reading from Ecclesiastes. Kind of like, well, it's just the way it is. Instead, the gospel tells us that there is a plan, and that plan also has a proper time. There's going to be a time for the Son of Man to suffer, and there's going to be a time for the Son of Man to rise. And so we understand that it's not a matter of fate, it's a matter of God's plan of salvation for us. We can ask the Lord then to help us to understand that plan, even when we feel like we are frustrated with our failures and our weaknesses and everything, that we can still say, Lord, you're in charge. It's okay. Whatever the time is, it'll be your time, and I'll be happy. Let us stand and